mean, I'm all about it if we need it, but it's not really easy.
Alright, we're gonna open back up with roll call. Mr. Oglesby, Ms. Reynolds, here. Mr. Tracy.
Here.
Ms. Jordan. Mr. Hardy.
Here.
Mr. LaTurner.
Here.
Ms. Jackson, here. No action taken. Alright, do we have an update? The finance committee met about employee insurance.
Yes, we have.
You wanna give us an update on that?
We, after vigorous debate, we want to stay with what we got.
With Blue Cross Blue
Yeah,
Shield?
the same thing we've had
The
for the last
grandfather's plan.
10 years, or 15 or 20 years, whatever it was.
And that,
We were 100% in agreement on that,
the committee was?
yes.
So same with Blue Cross Blue Shield, what was the decrease? 13%?
12?
11%?
11%.
So there was 11% decrease. This is the employee health and dental, correct? Correct. Bob, are you making that in a
I'll make
motion?
that a motion, yes.
We have a motion by Bob LaTurner to move forward with the renewal for employee health insurance with Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Second.
Second by Jamie Jackson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Christy LaTurner.
Hey.
Hello.
Good evening. I am here to kind of visit about some of the things. I currently found out that on the stop signs, Chief, you were looking into that. Is that correct?
Yeah, I looked into some stop signs, I'm not sure which ones particularly.
Okay. Up there at Lincoln and Fifth was a concern. So I'm gonna kind of go through some numbers with you guys. Around Fifth Street, did you guys know that there's about 21 kids in that neighborhood? That is a concern? Yes, no? I guess not, with all the blank faces. So there's about 21 kids in that area on Fifth Street. That doesn't include Fifth and Fourth, and that doesn't include Fifth and Sixth. So that's Fifth Street right there. Which is why the moms were wanting, some children at play signs placed on there. I know that, Mr. Tracy had brought up the concerns about large trucks going through residential neighborhoods. We have brought that concern up previously, and if phone calls need to be made, phone calls can be made. Just let us know, and we can gladly do that. And then, the other questions were the update on the Lazarus program, and of course I can pass my list to you guys. Are we gonna have, any movie nights or any concert nights downtown other than what the bars are providing? They were kind of excited about that, and I know that we have the new splash pad, super awesome, love that. And then, do you guys know the influx? Like, we have a population of 2,800, but do you know a workday influx? Any of those numbers? Because I'm gonna obtain those numbers. And reason being is because those numbers help us with getting funding from the state. And we happen to know that even on Sunday, there's a huge out-of-town influx on our churches. Because as you guys know, my work with the state and the federal level has significantly increased in the last year and a half. So that has actually been super exciting, because I have grown in popularity, and I am working on a lot of positive things and getting some exciting things for Galena, which is going to benefit our community. And pretty much that's all I have. Please don't ignore your emails. There's positive things on there as well, which has been super exciting. So that's it. Okay.
Hey, when you get the influx numbers of daytime population and stuff, could you let us know about that?
Oh yeah, that's kind of why I want you guys to be sure and keep up on your emails. So it's gonna be awesome, because there's about 4, not just one program that I've been volunteered for. So, and the job offers have gone through the roof, so anyways. thank
Sounds
you
like you're gonna
guys.
be busy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Christie. This is for Grady's. All right, Grady's has asked for, they're having a special event on July 19th. So if you want to approve this, this would be a resolution. What resolution would it be? 12? This would be 25-12. And it says a resolution seeking to close a portion of 4th Street temporarily for a special event and allow alcohol to be possessed in the restricted area. A resolution of the City Council of Galena, Kansas to close a portion of 4th Street temporarily for a special event and allow alcohol to be possessed within a restricted area within the City of Galena, Kansas. Whereas within the City of Galena that a special event shall be held at Grady's Place located at 316 South Main in Galena on July 19th, 2025 from 4 p.m. until 11:59 p.m. on July 19th. Whereas the portion of the public street on 4th and Main from Main to Short shall be closed from 4 p.m. till 11:59 on July 19th, 2025. Whereas alcohol shall be allowed in the portion of the street closed off, see map attached and incorporated herein, subject to the liquor laws and regulations of the state of Kansas. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of Galena, Kansas hereby closes a portion of 4th Street from Main Street to Short Street from July 19th, 2025 at 4 p.m. until July 19th at 11:59 p.m. Alcohol will be allowed for the special event in the closed portion of the street during the event only, subject to the liquor license of the laws of the state of Kansas.
What's the special event? Do we know? He does live music and stuff
On the street there.
down the street.
He just shut down 4th, right?
Yep. I don't think so.
Just a bit.
So if you'd like to pass that, he usually does this several times through the summer and fall events. It'd be resolution 25-12.
I'll make a motion we pass 25-12.
We have a motion by Warren Harding to pass resolution 25-12.
Second.
Second by Bob LaTurner. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Gerald and Lorraine Gilmy, you can come on up.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, folks. We've had water problems at our residence on 301 Overlook Drive. And it seems though it is at the bottom of the bowl, formed by the slope from Main Street down to Short Street, and from 19th down to 18th and 17th down to 18th, so it's just a massive influx of water.
We have a solution, we think. On 18th Street, coming from Main Street, before you cross Short, that culvert has collapsed. There's no water running under it. It runs down over it.
The road surface is actually probably 2 or 3 inches lower than the approaches on it.
Where's the collapsed culvert
Yeah,
at?
where'd you say that was?
It's on 18th Street, just before you get to Short Street, at the stop sign right there.
So you'd think replacing that culvert would?
It would help a lot. And then we need one underneath Short Street, because there's a ditch on the south side of the road that we live on, but on the north side, there's not. So all the water runs through our yard.
I have the same thing going at the corner of 12th and Dewey.
Yeah.
Every time it rains, it is just like that.
Yeah.
It goes down.
So we're thinking though this would, because if they dug out the ditch on the south side of the road, then it could run down and run out to that little creek. I don't know if you're familiar with that area, but yeah.
So you're talking about a culvert on the south side of 18th at Shore.
Yeah, right
To
there,
take the water, okay.
because,
I must have misunderstood you when I was out there cleaning, was it 2 weeks ago that you said I cleaned that ditch out?
yeah,
That actually caused more problem than it
Well, yeah,
solved.
cause it allowed more water to go through your
Yeah.
yard.
yeah.
In that ditch, but that's, I
Yeah.
don't know when
I-
they put that
yeah, I
culvert
know.
in, but, you know.
And there's a culvert that runs underneath
Short Street
York Street.
that runs through, what's her, Angie.
Yep.
Price's yard, which comes down to our yard and around our garage and runs, I've got pictures of it, what happened this last time.
Do you think, Josh, that this would help solve the problem that they're suggesting?
Well, I think the idea that they're presenting is to catch the water before it goes to that other culvert. So it just basically takes the water coming from the south, and then the water
There's the
coming
water
from the north will stay
front
in the
yard,
ditch it's
or
in.
right.
Cause it's in a valley there, so it's gonna have water coming from 19th down to 18th and 17th.
There's
Yeah.
where
Pictures.
Yeah, and, if we can
See
contain
how much it is up on
The
our
water.
foundation?
from the south
That
before
side.
it crosses
No, that's front.
Short.
That's the front.
or
Yeah,
Overlook
it was
Drive.
running across our carport.
Actually,
You can
Overlook
see
Drive.
where it's running across
That's
our
an
carport
extension of
there.
18th
Would you leave
Street.
your number?
So you haven't had a
If I
problem
shared your number
before,
with Josh?
right? I mean,
Oh,
That's
well,
fine, Josh is my
Only when
nephew.
there's terrific
He's your
rain.
nephew?
yeah, we've had a couple left.
You bet he wants
So,
to tell then, right?
This time, it hasn't been,
And there's the backyard.
Yeah.
It was running
it was up
through the
to about
breezeway
4 inches on
underneath the,
our east wall.
it was bad.
Okay.
Foundation wall.
So, I mean, you guys have noticed this got worse since you noticed the culverts back, right?
Yeah, and
Well, it's, the smash one has been that way for
now it's running through, see, it runs,
15 years.
Oh, it's been collapsed a long time.
I've seen it do that before.
it's
Done
deep.
it before, it's a floodplain, yeah.
And we did that when we moved there, because we had water problems, but, so we dug a spillway kind of out around the back of the garage and down, so it could, but now it's just run across the front, it just runs wherever it wants to.
Yep.
So,
Alright, they'll take a look at it, you do know more rain is coming supposedly,
yeah,
the next couple
Okay.
days, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, this is-
Yeah,
is,
yeah, sure.
so that's our problem.
Thanks, Jerome.
time for this. And what's your address again? 301 Lookout?
301 Overlook Drive, it's just right off
Yeah,
18th
because
Cause I
Street.
thought this one's
There's a
flowing.
ditch.
Their house is down
There's
here.
a ditch in front
It's a
of
dead
it.
end street down,
And then
if you don't know where it's at, but
Once it gets
where's
up
that? Just off 18th.
top, think that we can stop the water here.
And there's ditches all the way down, and there's a culvert up there between each one of these.
They're kinda small, they're kinda small, but
There they are.
we'll look at it again.
And is that here like a wing?
Yeah, so they're-
Down there, same road? Yeah, yeah, okay.
Jennifer and they went out
But
when it
doesn't
happened
matter
on
if we get
Easter.
water into it.
She was out there playing it.
Okay.
Kids were
Thank you,
playing in the
Gerald.
water, they
Thank
could have
you.
floated a canoe down it.
Police Control.
Right. Get my eyes on. For one, actually, we had an example to the contrary of my concern and complaint tonight on the one code change. Actually, Bob voted to table it. That gives everybody a chance to look over that. And I think that needs to be done a whole lot more, because I've been attending these meetings for a long, long time now, and I can't count the times that a motion for a code change, resolution, many substantial actions by the council would be presented to the council and at a meeting, and an action be taken on that motion at the same meeting, without anybody really ever having any time to review it. these things are important, while you can lay blanket policies, there are always unique conditions, but if you people don't have time to read that and look at it and see what's in those proposals, then you have no way to know how to make a reasonable decision. So yeah, putting that off tonight, give yourself a couple weeks to massage it and actually wrap your mind around it's a good thing. That should happen on everything. With that, almost a year ago now, there was a settlement between myself and the city, related to, it wound up costing the taxpayers of the city quite a bit of money in the fight to where we finally settled it. But the entire settlement agreement is not fulfilled yet. The expiration of that time is running close. It relates to sewer and water work that was to be done on Wood Street. I've heard nothing about that, so it is a concern, and I'm reminding you now that that stuff needs to be done to fulfill that agreement. There just seems to be a whole lot of lack of planning on just about everything, everywhere we look. I understand that there's a whole lot of things to do. No one person or no few people can get that done, but we as taxpayers are providing the money. You guys are managing the money. For one, we do have an engineering firm, to the best of my knowledge, unless something's changed, that's hired on to take care of engineering plans. There's engineering issues all over the place. Not too long ago, there was a sewer relocation along Water Street, which related to my property, for one, and there was some storm drain work that happened there. There had been a vote by the body to have engineering done on it. It actually never really was done. There's issues, as the gentleman and lady just spoke of there. An engineer could take care of many things like that. To the best of my knowledge, even though it was known back in 2012, there's still a water line feeding people up on Shaw Hill Road that goes through the landfill footprint, and that's still causing a problem now, especially now that I think Mr. Harding or someone else got with the landfill folks, having to change from working on the west end to go all the way back to the east end, except it looks like the east end is being avoided, and the only thing I can know of that could be is that water line that still runs up through that area. It's gotta be relocated. I thought it was to be relocated and those people fed from a different line or access way back when the hospital went in. I'm not sure about that. Either way, that's gonna be a really big ticket item. It's gotta be. Engineers should be involved in that. I've heard nothing about any engineering going on to get that water line rerouted. Those people fed from a different source. And of course it impacts how the landfill proceeds and therefore how it kind of interacts with my property. Myself and landfill operator are able to work together on things much better at this point. But there's still an interface that will happen. I would like to know if the city is managing the landfill operations whatsoever as to just where they're gonna work, where they're gonna go to, and if there's any way to start closing out part of it with final cap. I got a lot more issues, but I'm saying I'm just about out of time, so I'd sure like to hear something on those things.
Thank you, Royce. We need about a 5-minute executive session for contracts, keeping in department heads, and Michelle with the landfill.
So moved.
What time?
6:47 to 6:55. 6:45. No. 6:46.
I've never get into
For real.
6:44 to 6:49. Okay, so we have a motion by Bob Turner for executive session contracts from 6:44 to 6:49, keeping in department heads and Michelle from Jordan.